This is the ASUS ROG Ally handheld gaming unit. It's ultimately a Windows 11 Game Boy, if you will. But at $700, is this device, which does have more power than the Steam Deck, worth it? Let's open it up and dive you in with my 1 week impression. So first, let me take you through the pros. Since this is a Windows 11 device, it can natively run all of those launchers that you currently run on your PC. Now, I understand that with the Steam Deck, you can do some maneuvering to get Linux OS to essentially launch Windows on that hardware. Now, if that's something you want to go through, go for it. But there's something nice and convenient about having something that can natively do this out of the box. So from Battle.net to the Epic Store launcher, to anything that has a native cheat protection engine like Call of Duty or Destiny, those games, you can launch them here. And let me tell you, they run phenomenally. The hardware this device has is pretty impressive. For CPU, it has an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor, 8-core, 16 threads, up to 24 megabytes total cache and 5.10 gigahertz boost. GPU, AMD Radeon Graphics, AMD RDNA 312 CUs, up to 2.7 gigahertz and up to 8.6 teraflops. And the screen is beautiful as well, 120 hertz refresh rate, up to 1080p resolution. Anything you could play on the Steam Deck, you can play it here, and I will tell you without a doubt, it will play better here. Heck, Destiny 2 was running consistently at 60 frames, if not 70 frames or above, as I played through the End of the Witch Queen DLC. So there are so many pros to lavish upon this device. And similarly, in terms of its weaknesses, it shares a lot in common with the Steam Deck. Now, the Steam Deck struggled with battery life. And truth be told, I played my Steam Deck in a manner where it was always close to a wall, so I kind of had it always plugged in, and for the most part, that's how I handled this ASUS ROG device as well. And a lot of other similar difficulties that you would have with the Steam Deck, I guarantee you will find here. Now, the cons. This is something that is hard to think through, but it definitely, given its power advantages, being a Windows device, being a more powerful device overall, it definitely has some shortcomings that I believe aren't so specific to the hardware, but to the operating system it's running. Windows 11, I love Windows. I love the Windows operating system. I'm not an operating system snob by any means, but because this is an operating system that's truly optimized for a mobile experience, you're going to run into a lot of things you would run into while launching a game on your PC, and it just doesn't feel right having it be a handheld device that you have to point and touch with on your finger. For example, some games, when you want to launch out of the launcher, there's going to be a pop-up window. And depending on how you're launching it on your ROG device, if you're using the ASUS Armor UI overlay, there's going to be some confusion. Like, why isn't it coming up? What's going on here? And a lot of trial and error, so to say. So, I mean, so what's my verdict? If you have $700 and you are into being an early adopter for this type of technology, I say go for it. Be my guest. You're going to have a blast, especially if there are games on this device that you want to play that you couldn't play on your Steam Deck. Know that you will still have the same challenges that you have on your Steam Deck. For example, battery life and so forth. That being said, for the games you do play, they're going to play better. And honestly, I like the form factor a bit more here, although I like the Steam Deck form factor as well, especially over the Switch. But for me personally, if I would say I wasn't buying this device for this review, wanting to give you my perspective, I would tell you I don't need it. In fact, I may personally return it, just given the fact that I already have a Switch and a lot of other games I'm playing handheld as well. And quite frankly, there's a lot of other devices coming down the road that I want to be able to get my hands on and review as well. So it's one of those things where it really depends on where you're at. And that's my verdict after a week. Again, it is hands down more powerful and more pleasant to play a game on than your Steam Deck. But the issues with this device aren't, again, specific to the hardware. They're specific to the operating system. And again, I love Windows. So that's my 1 week impression. I hope you find it helpful. If you do, please like and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and have, as always, a lovely day.